So first and foremost, I write for Inc. now, and I wrote down literally every single step from top to bottom of how to sell your business, no matter its size. So if someone wants this, just Google Darah, it's DARAH, Inc.com, and steps to sell a business, no matter its size, and it will come up. And this is very thorough. So I will by no means touch even an ounce of the thoroughness of that article right now. But one of the most important things I would say when you're thinking about selling a business, either current stage or if you think one day you want to sell your business, is one, to understand what matters to you in that process. What are the outcomes that are most important to you? Because there's a lot of different ones and they're not the same for everyone. It could be the financial outcome. It could be that the business continues to operate in its exact current way. It could be that your team stays on board. It could be a certain expansion plan that you want to see happen. There's so many components, and how long you want to stay on and continue to be a part of it. Like, you need to be thinking about those things. But depending again where you are in this process, one of the most essential things you need to be doing is thinking about what's actually a saleable asset in your business and how do you set it up to operate without you and or potentially even parts of your team there, which comes down to systems. One of the most essential things I learned in the early years of business, because I had a director of operations for the networking events company have a traumatic brain injury out of nowhere. And suddenly my entire operations were down. I didn't have his passwords. I didn't know what he was working on because we were like so simpatico. I just trusted what he was doing. And then I realized this had nothing to do with trust. This had everything to do with the fact, like, if anyone watches Shark Tank, it's like what Mr. Wonderful always says of what happens if you get hit by a bus. That's literally basically what happened. And I realized, wow, we really need to implement systems and procedures and standard operating procedures and all of these things from the beginning, which ended up being so essential to the sale. Because when people would say, well, how much does this rely on you being in there? And I would say, I've spent out of these 10 years, maybe 6 of them physically being involved in this business. And I've spent the last 4 watching how the systems operated with me barely being involved and just having like distant oversight. You will be fine. Everything is completely ready to go. That was a really big part of it too. And then from there, if you want to go into the article, it'll really help you understand how to begin to source potential buyers if they're not just showing up on your doorstep, how to engage through the entire process, like the legal side of it, the steps that you take through like formal offers and informal offers, and all the data that you need to put in your pitch deck and the sort of initial high level information you want to put out before you have NDAs signed. There's a lot to think about, and there's so many ways that it could be handled depending on your goals, but I hope that will be helpful.